Ladies, let me ask you this. Have you ever wanted to do something so simple, so subtle, yet so irresistible with your lips that it makes him absolutely addicted to you? Because the truth is, it's not about being perfect or doing everything right. It's about knowing one playful move that captures his attention and makes you unforgettable. Anticipation is one of the most powerful forces in attraction, and when it comes to intimacy, it is often more magnetic than the act itself. The way you use your lips can create a pull so strong that he feels addicted to the experience, not because of what you did quickly, but because of how long you made him wait. Imagine a kiss that doesn't rush, that doesn't give away everything in a single moment, but instead lingers just enough to spark curiosity. That tiny pause, that soft brush of your lips without fully committing leaves him wondering what will come next. It's not just a kiss, it's a story you are writing on his skin, and each second you hold back deepens his craving for the next chapter. The secret lies in slowing down. Most people rush into a kiss because they think passion comes from intensity, but real passion is born in contrast. When you allow your lips to hover, to barely graze his without diving in, you're building a storm of desire in his chest. His body leans forward instinctively because anticipation is irresistible. It is the gap between wanting and receiving that makes the moment unforgettable. The human mind clings to what it cannot have immediately, and when you pull back at the perfect second, you awaken that primal need to chase. You become the prize he doesn't just enjoy, but the one he cannot stop reaching for. Think about the way your lips can travel slowly, not rushing straight to his mouth, but exploring the edges of the moment. A kiss that starts at the corner of his lips, slides softly across his jawline, and pauses at the edge of his ear tells him something powerful. It says you are not in a hurry, you are savoring him. That savoring is addictive because it makes him feel chosen, desired, and worth every second of your attention. When you slow down, your lips become a whisper of intention, a promise of what's to come rather than the full delivery. This subtle play ignites his imagination, and imagination often burns hotter than reality. Anticipation works because it mixes physical sensation with emotional tension. It's not just about the lips touching, it's about the moments where they almost touch. Picture yourself leaning in so close that he feels your breath, so close that he can practically taste you, and then pulling away just enough to make him sigh with frustration. That sigh is proof of the hold you have. The more he waits, the more he invests emotionally, and the deeper the addiction grows. Every time you hold back, you're layering intensity, and every time you finally give in, you reward him with a rush he won't forget. Even a simple kiss on the lips becomes extraordinary when it's delayed by seconds that feel like minutes. A gentle pause before your lips press to his creates a spark of electricity, like the quiet before thunder. It is in that quiet that his mind races, wondering how you will kiss him, when you will kiss him, and what it will feel like. That wondering is where the addiction begins. Once he tastes the kiss, it's no longer just about lips meeting, it's about the journey you created on the way there. Anticipation gives you control without needing to say a word. Your lips become the guide, your pauses become commands, and his reactions become proof of your influence. It is not about withholding affection, but about amplifying it. By slowing down, teasing, and letting the tension rise, you're not only giving him pleasure, you're making yourself unforgettable. Teasing touches are where your lips move from being ordinary to unforgettable, because they carry the power to turn simple contact into electric connection. Most people assume a kiss must always land directly on the lips, but the real magic lies in surprising him with touches he never saw coming. beginning. Your lips become a tool of playful exploration, mapping out places on his body that he didn't even know could feel so charged with sensation. The trick is to think beyond the obvious, to let your lips wander where his expectations are not, and in doing so, you create a game of surprise that keeps him endlessly hooked. Imagine leaning close as if you're about to kiss him on the mouth, but at the very last second, your lips drift to the edge of his cheek. That gentle brush feels innocent, almost accidental, yet it sparks a heat that runs deeper than a rushed kiss could ever create. He expects one thing, and you give him another, and in that gap between expectation and reality, you build intrigue. The cheek, so close to his lips, becomes a stage where your softness lingers, making him want the real kiss even more. This is what makes teasing so powerful. It's not about giving everything at once, but about leaving trails of desire that force him to chase. The jawline is another place where your lips can play their mischief. A slow trace along the strong edge of his jaw communicates admiration without words, as if you're appreciating the very structure of his masculinity. It's not just about the physical feeling of skin against skin, but about the way he feels seen and admired in that moment. When you allow your lips to pause there, maybe adding the faintest pressure, you awaken something primal. His heartbeat quickens, not just from the touch, but from the realization that you are choosing to explore him deliberately. That deliberate choice makes him feel more desired than any standard kiss could. Then there's the neck, a place that carries both sensitivity and intimacy. A soft touch of your lips along the side of his neck is not only physically stimulating, but emotionally binding because it's vulnerable. The neck is where trust lives, and when you place your lips there, you are both teasing and connecting on a deeper level. A light graze can feel like fire, and when you combine that with the subtle pause of your breath against his skin, it becomes nearly unbearable for him to resist. It's not the kiss itself that consumes him, but the teasing build-up that your lips create by daring to wander. The ear is perhaps the most underestimated place of all. A gentle kiss just at the edge of his ear, or even the softest brush of your lips there, can send a shiver racing through his entire body. It's intimate, it's playful, and it carries with it a kind of secret that only the two of you share. The ear is connected not only to sensation but also to sound, so when your lips touch it lightly, or when you whisper against it, you are activating two senses at once. The teasing becomes amplified because he's not just feeling you, he's hearing you, he's imagining you, he's experiencing you in multiple layers. Even the forehead, often overlooked, can become part of your teasing game. A gentle kiss there feels tender and unexpected, creating emotional intimacy that makes the more passionate touches even more addictive later. Teasing is about variety, about giving him moments of affection that aren't always purely sexual but are deeply connecting because they leave him surprised and wanting more. Teasing touches with your lips work because they combine unpredictability with emotion. They break the routine and replace it with curiosity so that every second with you feels alive. By kissing the cheek, the jaw, the neck, the ear, or even the forehead, you show him that your lips are not bound by rules. They are free, playful, and bold. That unpredictability keeps him hooked because he never knows where your next move will land, but he knows it will leave him craving more. Whispered words carry a kind of magic that no kiss, no touch, and no gesture can replace. They are intimate in a way that feels almost forbidden because your lips are not only close but pressed against one of the most sensitive spots of his body, his ear. When you speak softly with your lips brushing his skin, you are doing more than just using words. You are delivering sensation, sound, and emotion all at once, and the combination can make him feel addicted to you in ways he cannot even explain. It is not just the content of what you say, but the way your lips, your breath, and your tone wrap around those words that makes them unforgettable. Think of the moment right before you whisper. You lean in close, your lips hovering near his ear, and he feels the warmth of your breath before he even hears your voice. That alone is enough to send chills racing through him. Anticipation mixes with the physical sensation, and by the time you finally let a word escape, his body is already tuned to you. The sound doesn't come loudly or clearly. It comes in a way that only he can hear, almost as if you are speaking a secret meant for no one else. That exclusivity makes him feel chosen, and that feeling of being the only one who gets access to your whispered world binds him closer to you. The words themselves can be as simple as a compliment. Imagine whispering, "You make me feel so safe," or "I love the way you touch me." In the middle of an intimate moment, those words carry more power than shouting them out loud ever could. They land softer, but they echo louder in his mind. Your lips press lightly against his ear as you say them, and that slight tickle mixed with your sincerity creates a memory he won't want to escape. Compliments whispered are not just about boosting his confidence. They are about making him associate that feeling of pride and strength directly with your touch, your presence, and your lips. Whispers can also be playful, carrying a sense of mischief that makes him laugh or blush in the middle of passion. Saying something teasing like, "You can't handle what I'm about to do," or even a cheeky, "You're mine tonight," can drive him wild. The beauty of whispering is that the tone is softer, so even the boldest words sound more seductive than aggressive. They slip into his ear like a secret challenge, daring him, exciting him, and pulling him into a game only the two of you understand. That playfulness is addictive because it combines emotional closeness with thrilling unpredictability. Whispers don't always need to be full sentences. Sometimes it is enough to let your lips form a sound, a soft sigh, a breathy moan, or even his name. Hearing his name whispered at that distance makes him feel more seen and more desired than anything else. The sound vibrates against his ear, creating a sensation that is half heard, half felt, and wholly unforgettable. Your lips in that moment are not just speaking, they are branding his memory with an experience that links intimacy to your voice forever. The reason whispered words are so powerful is that they bypass logic and go straight to emotion. When you whisper, you are not performing for anyone else. You are speaking directly to him in private, with no audience and no distractions. That vulnerability and closeness make the words sink deeper. He doesn't just hear them, he feels them because your lips and your breath carry the meaning into his body. It becomes personal, private, and addictive because it is not something he can get from anyone else in the same way. When you combine whispered words with the gentle brush of your lips, you create a sensory overload. He feels the softness of your mouth, the warmth of your breath, and the intimacy of your voice all at once. That trio of sensations is powerful enough to make him addicted, not just to your lips, but to the entire experience of being close to you. He will crave it long after the words have faded, because whispers are never forgotten. Playful biting and gentle pressure with your lips is one of those things that can instantly transform a simple kiss into something he cannot get out of his head. It's not about being rough or overwhelming. It's about adding just enough edge to keep him hooked and guessing. The soft press of your lips creates warmth and comfort, but when you mix that with a sudden light bite, it introduces surprise, excitement, and an addictive spark. It's the contrast that makes it powerful. He experiences tenderness one moment and a flash of intensity the next, and that shift keeps his senses alive and craving more. The beauty of playful biting is that it balances sweetness with mischief. When your lips linger softly against his and then you tug gently on his lower lip with your teeth, it sends a jolt of energy through him. That tug is playful dominance, a message that you're confident, in control, and unafraid to tease him. The gentle bite doesn't hurt, it excites. It tells him that you're not just there to give him comfort, you're there to make him feel something deeper, something he can't quite predict. This unpredictability is addictive because he never knows when that next playful bite will come, and he starts to anticipate it even before it happens. Pressure itself is a language. Sometimes lips alone feel too soft, too fleeting, but when you add gentle pressure with your mouth, you anchor the kiss. Pressing your lips firmly against his neck, his jawline, or his mouth shows intensity without saying a word. It communicates desire in a way that's different from whispers or caresses. It tells him that you're not afraid to leave a mark, not necessarily visible, but one he feels long after. That subtle press, especially when alternated with lighter touches, creates rhythm. That rhythm of soft and firm, tender and bold, is what keeps the experience alive in his mind. The lower lip is often the perfect place to introduce both gentle pressure and playful biting. When you capture it between your teeth and hold it lightly, you're giving him something he didn't expect. It's like you're pulling him closer without even using your hands, showing him that your lips can lead just as much as they can follow. If you release slowly, dragging your teeth across his lip as you pull back, you leave him dazed, suspended in the moment, waiting for more. That wait is what creates the addictive pull, because he feels like you gave him a glimpse of something thrilling and then took it away before he could fully hold on to it. But lips aren't the only place where this playful pressure works. The side of his neck, the curve of his shoulder, or even the edge of his ear can be teased with a light bite or firm kiss. These spots are sensitive, and when your teeth graze them softly, it ignites sensation that runs straight through his body. The mix of soft lips and sudden edge creates an irresistible contrast. It's the same principle that makes sweet and spicy food addictive. The clash of sensations creates a high his body wants to feel again and again. Confidence is key when using playful biting. If you do it timidly, it feels uncertain, but when you lean into it with intention, even gently, it feels magnetic. He senses that you know exactly what you're doing, and that confidence draws him deeper. It's not just the bite itself that excites him, but the way you own it. Confidence wrapped in mischief is intoxicating because it makes the experience feel alive, unique, and impossible to duplicate. What makes playful biting and gentle pressure unforgettable is the way it combines safety with danger. He knows you won't hurt him, but in that flash of pressure or that quick bite, there's an illusion of risk that makes his adrenaline surge. That adrenaline mixes with desire, creating a cocktail of emotion and sensation that sticks in his memory. Every time he thinks of your lips, he won't just remember the softness, he'll remember the surprise, the teasing bite, the way you shifted the energy with nothing more than a small change in pressure. It's that mix of comfort and thrill that turns him addicted to your kiss, because he knows with you it will never just be predictable. Switching pace with your lips is what takes intimacy from something ordinary to something unforgettable, because it keeps him on edge and fully present in the moment. If every kiss felt the same, always soft, always slow, or always fast, it would eventually become predictable. And predictability kills excitement. The power lies in contrast. Moving from tender, lingering kisses to sudden, passionate ones makes his body react in ways he cannot control. He doesn't know what's coming next, and that mystery is addictive. You are training his mind to crave your lips because each touch feels like a new discovery rather than a repeated act. Start by thinking of pace as rhythm. A slow kiss is like a soft melody, calming and deep, while a sudden hungry kiss is like a burst of drums that takes over his senses. If you only gave him one rhythm, he'd eventually expect it. But when you switch between the two, his body is constantly adjusting, constantly responding, and constantly pulled deeper into the experience. For instance, when you let your lips linger gently on his, holding them there with warmth and stillness, you create intimacy that feels safe and tender. But the moment you suddenly press harder, kissing him with urgency, his entire body lights up. That shift is what leaves him addicted, because he never knows if you'll stay slow or surprise him with heat. Switching pace also works beyond the mouth. When you move your lips down to his neck, start by letting them graze his skin lightly, almost like a feather. He feels the tease, the suggestion, the gentleness of your touch. His breathing steadies, his body relaxes into you, and then, suddenly, you apply more pressure, sucking lightly or biting just enough to make his pulse race. That immediate contrast shocks his senses in the most pleasurable way. The lightness prepares him for relaxation, but the sudden intensity jolts him back into desire. The brain loves these shifts because they release chemicals that make the experience not just enjoyable but addictive. Another way pace plays a role is in timing. Holding a kiss for a long stretch makes him lose himself in you, but pulling back suddenly, pausing, and then diving in again sends him spinning. He feels like you're in control of the moment, guiding it like a dance, and that leadership is incredibly attractive. The unpredictability tells him you're confident, playful, and willing to take him on an emotional ride. That roller coaster of slow and fast, gentle and urgent, calm and passionate keeps his attention glued to you. He can't drift off or take the moment for granted because every kiss feels like the beginning of something new. Even subtle shifts in pace make a difference. Softly brushing your lips across his cheek and then immediately capturing his mouth in a deep, hungry kiss creates contrast he won't forget. Lingering slowly on his bottom lip, then pulling back for just a second before returning with speed makes him ache for more. The pauses, the acceleration, the slowing down again. It's like a rhythm that builds tension and then releases it over and over until he's addicted to the cycle you create. Switching pace also communicates emotion. Slow, tender kisses speak of affection, care, and depth, while fast, urgent ones speak of raw desire and passion. By blending the two, you show him that he is not just someone you want physically, but someone you want emotionally too. That combination creates a stronger bond because he feels both desired and cherished in the same moment. The mix makes him feel chosen on every level, which is far more powerful than giving him only one kind of kiss. The most addictive part of switching pace is the unpredictability. He cannot put you into a box or assume he knows what you'll do next. That keeps him thinking about you long after the moment has ended. He remembers the way you started slowly, how you suddenly pulled him in deeper, how you teased him with pauses, and how you ended with softness that made him melt. It's a symphony of sensation created by nothing more than your willingness to change rhythm. And that symphony is what keeps him coming back, craving the feeling of your lips, because he knows every time will be different, every kiss will be its own story, and every moment will feel like a new addiction. Confidence in control is the final layer that turns everything you do with your lips into something unforgettable. Without confidence, even the most delicate tease, the most passionate bite, or the most perfect kiss can fall flat because he can sense hesitation. Attraction is not just about technique, it is about the energy behind it. When you kiss him with certainty, when you lean in as though you know he is going to love every second of what you're about to give, that confidence becomes more powerful than the kiss itself. It communicates without words that you are comfortable in your own skin, that you are in charge of the moment, and that you know exactly how to make him addicted to you. The truth is, confidence isn't about being forceful or aggressive. It is about being deliberate. Every move of your lips, whether it's a soft brush against his ear or a firm kiss on his mouth, feels intentional when it is backed by self-assurance. You're not second-guessing yourself. You're not rushing as though you're unsure. You are taking your time because you know you are worth savoring. That energy translates directly to him. He doesn't just feel the kiss, he feels the certainty behind it. And that certainty makes him trust you more deeply. When a man senses confidence, his guard comes down and he allows himself to get lost in you. Confidence also shows up in the way you take the lead. Many people wait for the other person to initiate or guide the rhythm, but when you lean in and direct the pace, the intensity and the flow of the moment, you stand out. Imagine kissing him slowly, then suddenly pulling back with a sly smile before leaning in again. That moment tells him you are not afraid to control his attention, not afraid to be bold, and not afraid to take what you want. Men find this intoxicating because it reverses the usual dynamic. Instead of him being the one to dominate the moment, he finds himself following your lead, and that contrast makes him crave you even more. Control through confidence also allows you to play with silence and stillness. Instead of rushing from one kiss to another, you can pause, let your lips hover near his, and hold his gaze. That pause is not awkward, it is powerful. It tells him you are comfortable enough to wait, to let him feel the weight of anticipation, and to enjoy every heartbeat of the silence. That kind of control only comes from confidence, and it drives him wild because it builds a suspense he cannot resist. You're not desperate for the next move. You're commanding the entire experience without saying a word. Another way confidence shows is in how unapologetic you are with your desires. When you want to kiss him harder, you do. When you want to nibble on his lip, you don't hesitate. When you want to whisper something playful in his ear, you lean in close and say it with conviction. You don't apologize for wanting him. You own it. That ownership is magnetic because it makes him feel desired in the most raw and undeniable way. A man cannot forget the lips of a woman who knew exactly what she wanted from him and wasn't afraid to show it. Even the smallest gestures become addictive when done with confidence. A kiss on his neck lingers longer when you hold it with firmness, as if you know the effect it's having on him. A playful bite feels different when you don't rush to pull away, when you commit to it with boldness. A simple press of your lips becomes intense when you pour certainty into it. He doesn't just feel kissed, he feels claimed, chosen, and wanted. That is what leaves him addicted, not just to the physical kiss, but to the confidence that came with it. Confidence in control is about more than kissing. It is about presence. When you are fully in the moment, unafraid, unapologetic, and deliberate, you turn every touch into a statement. You don't need to ask if he likes it, because your energy already tells him he does. You don't need to wonder if he'll remember, because the certainty of your movements ensures he will. The addiction he feels is not only to your lips, but to the way you made him feel powerless in the best way possible. He remembers the kiss, but more than that, he remembers the confidence behind it, and that is what makes him want to come back for more, again and again. When you put all of this together, the anticipation, the teasing touches, the whispered words, the playful biting, the shifts in pace, and the confidence to own every moment, you stop being just another kiss in his life. You become the kiss he can't forget. It isn't about doing something outrageous or complicated. It's about mastering the art of keeping him curious, addicted, and drawn to you every time your lips touch his. What makes a man crave you isn't only the softness of your mouth, it's the mystery you create, the emotions you stir, and the confidence you radiate while doing it. He won't remember every conversation, every moment, or even every date, but he will always remember how your lips made him feel. That is the addiction, that is the power, and that is how you leave a mark no one else can replace.